This episode of the Dungeoncast is brought to you by Hit Point Press and Humblewood Tales, live on Kickstarter. Humblewood Tales is a companion book by the Humblewood campaign setting for 5th edition, featuring expanded lore around the mystical tree city of Alderheart. Gather your party and embark on 5 new Humblewood adventures for levels 3 through 8, where you'll encounter pirate mercenaries, face off against a slime king, take on the amaranthine Kren in a nightmarish dreamscape, and much more. With over 200 pages of new content that's fully compatible with all your 5e games, including pre-made characters, a full bestiary, myriads of new magic items, and more. There's plenty of thrills to be had for both new and seasoned Humblewood adventurers. Humblewood Tales is available as a book, box set, and a Kickstarter exclusive collector's edition. What tales will you tell? Check out Humblewood Tales today by visiting dc.humblewoodtales.com. The DC stands for Dungeoncast. Or click the link in the description below. This episode of the Dungeoncast was brought to you by Hit Point Press and Humblewood Tales, live on Kickstarter. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm William.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons.
And today we are covering the Ki-rin.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome, adventurers, to the Dungeoncast.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Will.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent.
Hey, check it out, people on YouTube.
The studio is halfway done.
We are under construction.
But it already sounds way better in here.
Yeah, I agree.
It feels way better in here.
Yeah, we deadened the reflections a little bit, and it's definitely not as hot. So,
Yes,
yeah, thank
very
you,
much
insulation.
It's like 97 degrees outside, but it's like a nice 80 in here.
Yeah. I'm not sweating bullets the way I normally would be while we're recording.
Indeed.
Yeah, and now with these camera angles, you can tell when I'm sweaty.
Absolutely. All right, Brian. So today we vacation away from the fiendish plains far below and head to higher ground.
Oh, cool.
Celestia, Arborea, Easgard, Arcadia. The upper plains are said to be beautiful and majestic beyond all comprehension. And they are all made more so by the presence of today's topic, the mythical Ki-rin.
Oh, wow. Okay, so if you didn't catch our dungeon building episode, we threw one of these bad boys in there.
We super did.
Yeah.
Based on the mythological creature of the same name from Eastern Asia, the Ki-rin is a breathtaking celestial. It is something between a unicorn, angel, and dragon, but it is none of these things, though it often works alongside any and all of these things. Before we get into it, are you familiar with this creature outside of D&D?
Didn't we? Okay, I remember the episode we did a celestial warlock.
We did, but we did a Coatl as the patron.
But we were talking about doing a Ki-rin.
A Ki-rin
also
was
an option.
is in the works for sure. Yeah.
So you check that episode out, and you can meet Sweet Boy.
Sweet Boy. Oh my gosh, it's been so long.
Dumb
Whatever
stack.
happened to Sweet Boy?
Dumbstack Khan. What do you think happened to him? He's dead.
No,
he died of a
Sweet Boy.
He died of a cold.
Oh yeah. I think I remember something like that. All right. Well, let's get into Kirins.
Okay.
Kirins are an embodiment of good. And it is said that simply beholding one can evoke fear or awe in an observer. Similar to unicorns in some respects, as both are noble equine creatures, the typical Ki-rin looks like a muscular stag covered in golden scales lined in some places with golden fur, although some are known to have velvety blue fur instead. They have long manes and tails, coppery cloven hooves, and a spiral-shaped coppery horn just above and between their luminous violet eyes. In a breeze or when aloft, the creature's scales and hair appear to blaze with holy golden fire.
Oh, man.
And they are said to have melodious or musical voices. They're just like tears down my face.
It
flies,
right? So this is like a flying unicorn, like in
it's a flying unicorn angel dragon.
You're supposed to be awe-inspired when you see it.
Indeed,
so
yeah.
DMs, get that description crispy.
Absolutely. This is a general depiction of a Ki-rin, but it should be said that Kirins tend to vary in appearance based on the deity each one reveres and the function each typically performs in service to that god. Some resemble gigantic unicorns. These are often used as guardians. Others have draconic features and tend to be aggressive foes of evil. Having one horn is most common, but a particularly fierce Ki-rin might have 2 horns or a set of antlers like those of a great stag.
So it's a glamorous creature that reflects what. So it worships a god, or is it a?
They have a high tendency to ally themselves with deities of good. yes, the reverence kind of comes with that.
Okay.
Before we delve into D&D's version of Ki-rin, let's go over some real mythological origins, though. The Ki-rin is a legendary hooved chimerical creature that appears in Chinese mythology and is said to appear with the imminent arrival or passing of a sage or illustrious ruler. Ki-rin are a specific type of lin, of the Lin mythological family of one-horned beasts. The Ki-rin also appears in the mythologies of other cultures, such as Japanese and Korean mythology, where it is known as the Ki-rin, and Vietnamese mythology, where it is known as the Kai Lan.
Is this like some? These are terms that like people that study lore use.
What do you mean?
Like the Lin. That's not a D&D term. We're outside of D&D.
We're
right
outside
now?
of D&D. Yes, we're outside of D&D. This is real life mythological stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Essentially, like there is like this general understanding of this creature across multiple cultures. It's a little bit different. It's pronounced a little bit different, but they have that kind of that similar suffix of "lin" going on in them, and obviously there's other similarities between them.
I see. So folklore studies or folkloristics, I guess is
There
what
we go.
is the term.
Folkloristics. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
folklore
into that.
studies, also known as folkloristics, and occasionally tradition studies or folk life studies.
Hell yeah.
That's
word of the day on the Dungeoncast. We should have a word of the day. I'm serious.
oh man, we
I like
tried to
words.
do alliterations for each episode,
Well,
and
okay,
then we abandoned it.
We did.
After several
After
hundred
200
episodes, and of sometimes sparking debates before episodes. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
It's like I don't care anymore.
So unnecessary stress.
Maybe we should just come up with one alliteration we always use and go back to it.
No, because I don't get stale and old, I think.
That way we say a bunch of words at the beginning that don't get stale or old.
That's true.
I love introing the show.
We'll revisit this later.
Yeah.
Ki-rin generally have Chinese dragon-like features, similar heads with antlers, eyes with thick eyelashes, manes that always flow upward, and beards. The body is fully or partially scaled and often shaped like an ox, deer, or horse. They are always shown with cloven hooves. While dragons in China are almost always commonly depicted as golden, Ki-rin may be of any color or even various colors and can be depicted as bejeweled or exhibiting a jewel-like brilliance. Common color choices for depictions are often associated with the elements, precious metals, stars, and gemstones, but can additionally include earth tones and modest browns.
I like the idea of bejeweling your own Ki-rin at home, like a Build-A-Bear situation, you know?
A Build-A-Ki-rin.
Yeah,
I
like
it.
bejewel your Ki-rin.
I would love a Ki-rin plushie. That would be so cool to have.
That you can bejewel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring your laptop like over here.
You got it, sir.
Thanks.
The Ki-rin is depicted throughout a wide range of Chinese art, sometimes with parts of their bodies on fire. On occasion, they will have feathery features or decorations, fluffy curly tufts of hair, or even with decorative fish-like fins as embellishments, or cartfish whiskers, or scales. It is said their auspicious voice sounds like the tinkling of bells, chimes, and the wind.
This is giving me mad Catfish Wizard vibes.
Catfish Wizard.
Do you remember?
It's back. I remember Catfish Wizard.
Yeah, but I never found out what it's
Nope,
from, and
we
everybody
never
was like,
figured it out.
"It's South Park," and I'm like, "It wasn't South Park. I'm not sure what it was
Well,
from."
yeah,
I drew it a bunch of times.
Yeah, I saw it. It was really cool. It is said that although they can look fearsome, Ki-rin only punish the wicked. Thus, there exist accounts of court trials and judgments based on Ki-rin divinely knowing whether a defendant is good or evil, guilty or innocent, in ancient lore and stories.
I'd be pissed.
I know.
I'd be so
mad.
pissed. I'd be
Yeah.
like, some mythical, beautiful creature looks at me and is like, guilty. I'm like, no, fuck you.
Fuck you. Show
What the fuck?
Show the evidence.
He seems bad. I don't know about him.
In Buddhist-influenced depictions, Ki-rin will refuse to walk upon grass for fear of harming a single blade, and thus are often depicted walking upon the clouds or the water. As they are divine and peaceful creatures, their diets do not include flesh. They take great care when they walk to never tread on a living creature and appear only in areas ruled by wise and benevolent leaders, which means they never appear anywhere, which can include a household. Sorry.
Okay.
I added a little bit because I was like, wise and benevolent leader. Ha! Sorry. Ki-rin can become fierce if a pure person is threatened by a malicious one, spouting flames from their mouths and exercising other fearsome powers that vary from story to story.
I feel like they would look down on me, like those who walk on the ground accidentally squish ants. Unknowingly, you are foul. Like, shut up, nerd.
I feel like this is a running theme whenever we talk about a creature that's like very, very good and righteous. You're like, fuck you. You're not better than me.
I feel attacked.
But no, I think that's a common reaction. Ki-rin are also thought to be symbols of luck, good omens, protection, prosperity, success, and longevity by the Chinese. They may additionally appear as symbols of fertility, often depicted as bringing a baby to a family like a stork.
Oh, that's cool. Well, wait.
What?
Physically, or like they just show up like you're pregnant now? Like, look, we must be pregnant.
I took this as meaning like stork style.
Oh, okay. Like it shows up with your baby.
Yeah, like here's your baby.
Because sex isn't real.
Because sex isn't real. Don't tell the kids. In modern times, the depictions of Ki-rin have often fused with the Western concept of unicorns. Ki-rin is often translated into English as unicorn. It can sometimes be depicted as having a single horn, although this is misleading, as Ki-rin may also be depicted as having two horns, and a separate word for one-horned beast is used in modern Chinese for unicorns. Nevertheless, the mythical and etymological connections between the creatures have been noted by various culture studies and even the Chinese government, which has minted silver, gold, and platinum commemorative coins depicting both archetypical creatures.
Now, you included the in your notes here the pronunciation of the one-horned beast in quotation
Did you
marks.
want to go for it?
No,
Because I'm not going for it.
Surely would be offensive if I tried to say this. Is that why we didn't?
I mean, yeah, I just I'm going to do an improper job, and like if I say it wrongly and people think I'm right, then I will be spreading misinformation. So we're just gonna gloss over that.
We don't care when we do it when it's fantasy stuff, but that's a
Yeah.
real word.
Indeed.
All right.
Back to D&D. Let's go. Kirins are noble celestial creatures. In the Outer Planes, Kirins, in service to benevolent deities, take a direct role in the eternal struggle between good and evil. In the mortal world, Kirins are celebrated far and wide as harbingers of destiny, guardians of the sacred, and counterbalances to the forces of evil.
Cool.
Kirins are attracted to the worship of deities of courage, loyalty, selflessness, and truth, as well as to the advancement of just societies. For example, in the Forgotten Realms, Ki-rin rally mostly to Torm, god of duty, loyalty, and righteousness. Kirins that serve good deities go wherever they are commanded. A Ki-rin from an upper plane might venture to the material plane on a mission, usually as a scout, a messenger, or a spy. A Ki-rin living on the material plane claims a territory to watch over, and one Ki-rin might safeguard an area that encompasses several nations. So they do this a little bit like dragon style.
Yeah, a little bit dragon style, like angels too. They have like, we are the counterbalance to this incursion.
Indeed.
Like, let me show up and like slay it with my giant sword. I'm a solar. Fuck you. This is
I'm a solar. Fuck you.
every time we bring up a god or an entity that lists itself or is listed as righteous, just makes me think of some tubular shit.
Righteous, bro.
Yeah, dude, some
He's
surfer
definitely
shit.
the god
bruh.
of San Dimas.
He's the god of San Dimas?
Absolutely.
He's righteous as fuck?
He's righteous as fuck.
What about San Dimas is so righteous?
Bill and Ted.
Oh, dang. Yeah, okay. Because
I'm a big
I was
Bill
just
and
like,
Ted fan.
well, the Dungeons and Daddies podcast does a lot of stuff out of San Dimas because they're like from there. I'm pretty sure, or like
okay.
from near there.
San Dimas is a cool town.
It's like right next to where we are.
Yeah, it's very close.
Raging Waters is there, which is
It
a
is
giant
there.
water park.
Yeah.
Isn't
Don't
that
get in the water. It's
nationally
dirty.
franchised, sort of?
I have no
Branding?
idea. I don't
I
know.
don't either. Have you ever heard of Raging Waters? Let me know in the comments below. If you're
Indeed.
from SoCal,
It's
you
like
don't get
the
bonus
biggest,
points.
It's the biggest water park in California, I would think, right?
I would think
the
the
most
Knott's Berry
popular?
Farm one is
Surf
probably
City?
Is
Surf
it?
City, USA?
I don't know.
I
I,
love
don't know
Knott's
anything.
Berry Farm.
I'm not a water park guy.
Yeah, I'm not either, but I do love knots. Anyways, back to Kirins. In many lands, common folk... Oh, wait, I skipped one. Although generous and not prone to greed, Kirins do accumulate treasure, somewhat like a dragon, some of which are created by other celestial beings, and others of which are trophies and trinkets, mementos from villainous foes they have defeated.
We'll call this part of the game Crypts and Kirins
Crypts and
instead of
Kirins.
Dungeons and
I
Dragons.
like
Get it?
I get it.
Okay.
In many lands, common folk view Kirins as heralds of good fortune. They consider seeing a Kirin flying overhead a blessing, and events that happen on such day especially auspicious. If a Kirin alights during a ceremony, such as a birth announcement or coronation, everyone present understands that the creature is telling them the person so honored could become a great force for good. Kirins have also been known to appear at the sites of great battles to inspire and strengthen the side of good, or to rescue heroes from certain death, kind of like Gandalf the White.
Like Ho-Oh.
Look to me on the third day to the east, or whatever the fuck he says. I don't remember.
I'm not even going to try
And
to.
then they
quote Lord of the
did, and he
Rings.
was there.
Yeah. I was just like, your baby's born and you look out the hospital window and there's a giant, like, dragon snake flying out the window. You
Yeah,
know?
he's scary. That would be
He's got
scary.
his face in there. He's like, "What's up? Don't fuck up raising this one, okay?
This one's a good one. He's
we're
a
gonna
good egg.
We're gonna need him. He's gonna be a judge of a local province. He's gonna put a lot of people in jail."
Nice. Kirins are generally solitary creatures. The females of Kirins are so rare that most claim that they simply do not exist. However, female Kirins indeed do exist.
That's a terrible parallel to something I'm thinking of in the real world.
Oh, really?
It's the existence of the female orgasm.
Oh my gosh, Jesus! People are dumb.
It's so rare. It just isn't possible.
That's
It can't
so
be a thing.
dumb. It is said that no Kirin youth has ever been seen. And the Celestials refuse to talk about the reproduction, so it remains a mystery to mortals. Why are we so obsessed with how these creatures fuck? Why?
There's whole magazine sections dedicated to that.
There are.
I bet if we looked, what's that magazine called? Dungeon magazine
There's two. There's Dungeon and Dragon.
and Dragon magazine. It's probably Dragon magazine because Dragon's horny. So that makes sense that more fucking information would be in that magazine.
And you're not wrong, because all the ecologies, there's the ecology of series,
Yeah.
and almost every one of those super gets into the reproduction and sex life of the monster we're talking about,
Right.
including this one where it basically says we don't know, it's a mystery. Kirin sex, ooh.
What if it's like fish and they have to like shoot the ejaculate out into the ocean and the female has to like swim through it, I guess? Is that
Maybe.
how that
All
works?
I know is I think it's really funny that they very specifically say the Kirins are very uncomfortable talking about.
Yeah,
the whole-
because the reason why is because they're doing that shit up in the sky.
Yeah.
So all of the loose
Yeah.
ejaculate just
They
falls
don't-
to the earth.
Oh no.
Aarakocra, Farmer versus Aarakocra versus Kirin.
Yep, absolutely.
Bringing it full circle.
Dude, that is a deep pull. I forgot about the Aarakocra shitting all over the farmer's stretch from like
I'll never
3.5
forget.
years ago.
I'll never forget. Can you imagine the farmer gets shit on and the Aarakocra gets hit with Kirin jizz?
Yeah.
And they're both just like, it's just a mess.
It's the trickle down effect, man.
There's got to be gross. It sure is. There's got to be something in the upper atmosphere that is
That's
like
doing something to the Kirins that
it's-
is unwanted.
Yeah, it's like
and
vomiting or
unwarranted.
bleeding or something.
I hate
Something
this.
horrible.
All right, we're moving on. Kirins are herbivores and feed themselves with their ability to create matter, which is only limited by their imaginations and the creation size. Yes, they can create food.
Nice.
They tend to be adventurous and imaginative with the food they create, and just as adventurous with things they magic into being for their homes.
Who wouldn't be? I would be. They're
Yeah.
they're their own 3D printer.
Exactly. On the celestial planes, Kirins reside in lofty, elegant areas filled with luxurious objects. On the material plane, a Kirin chooses a similar location for its lair, such as atop a tall pinnacle or within a cloud solidified by the Kirin's magic. The chosen location is almost always hard to reach, and only those mortals who have the tenacity to complete the daunting journey to a Kirin's lair can prove themselves worthy of speaking with its occupant. Many of those who do end up pledging service to the creature. They study under its tutelage in its lair and serve as its agents in the world. These followers might travel incognito across the land, seeking news of growing evil and working behind the scenes, or they might be champions of their master's cause, out to defeat villainy wherever it is found. So it's like a cool, like, liege lord if you want to go like the knight or like agent route.
Yeah, you have that shit blazoned on your armor or whatever.
Yeah. When viewed from the outside, a Kirin's lair is indistinguishable from a natural site, and the entrance is difficult for visitors to find and reach. Inside the lair is a serene and comfortable palace. Its ambience a mix between palace and temple. If the Kirin has taken creatures into its service, its lair doubles as a sacred site wherein the Kirin not only rests but also teaches of holy mysteries.
That's cool. Have you seen like that underground forest? It's like a big hole in the ground, and you go like hundreds of feet down, and then it's like a little oasis, sort of like
No,
its own.
this is a real place.
Yeah. I think it's in China.
Fuck yeah, that's cool.
And it's just literally just a big hole in the ground. There's like a forest underground, sort of. Like
It's like a section of a forest that got like they sank in and then has survived.
I think it just grew there, probably.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics of
Okay.
like how the biology of it all and the ecosystem of it all works, but like they keep finding shit like that underground. Like there's a mini forest down here.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You just like fly in, or like I've watched a coyote run up into like its hole, and I was like, oh, I wouldn't have noticed that if the coyote didn't literally like run in there.
Right. There are locations similar to what you're describing in the game Skyrim, where you'll kind of be going through a cave, and then the cave like opens up, and there's like cracks in the mountain above that letting light in, and there'll be like a forested area underground.
That sounds beautiful. What is a Skyrim?
Skyrim is a game that has been released one too many times.
That was a saga too. We're gonna go down memory lane on this episode.
Apparently, I don't know
Yeah.
how this has happened. On occasion, Kirins take on the mantle of being the protectors of certain towns or regions. Kirins are known to inhabit the highlands of the Moonshade Isles, as well as northern forests and mountains of the Endless Waste. The Cloudlands, a fabled aerial kingdom above the Stonelands, is home to several creatures such as Kirins, myths, dragons, and giants, and these are all Forgotten Realms locations, by the way. If you didn't know.
When you say things like the Moonshade Isles, I immediately know.
Yeah, it's Forgotten Realms. As I said before, Kirins tend to ally mostly with Torm, but the goddess Eridre Phaenia is also on friendly terms with Kirins. Larue is also known as the Unicorn Queen, is known to have Kirin servants among other creatures that follow good and wisdom. Among other gods that count Kirins among their servants are Baranar Truesilver, which is Moradin's lover.
Oh, okay.
Coryil, Labellus Enareth, which is another one of the elven deities, and Sehanine Moonbow, which we know who she is.
We have not talked about Sehanine Moonbow in quite some time. That's the daughter of Coryil, right?
No, that's basically his lover.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Elistrai is his
That's
daughter.
the daughter.
Yes.
All right.
From Lolth.
Yeah, great. Love Lolth. Let's talk about Lolth. I did not know that there was a unicorn queen, Will. Why have we taken so long to bring that up?
I don't know. Maybe she'll get her own episode.
Is it like, I'm the unicorn queen, I have horns all the way around. I'm Darth Maul in this shit.
I don't know pretty much anything about her. It's a Forgotten Realms thing.
Yeah.
And if she warrants her own episode, if she's got enough info, she'll get it eventually.
Yeah, that's true. She has to take one of the horns out of her own head and plant it in the ground.
We might have mentioned her in passing in the unicorn episode, but that was a long time ago, and I don't remember.
That would have been the place. Yeah.
Kirins themselves worship their own patron deity, Coryil. Though they have no priest or shaman among their ranks, Coryil is considered the creator of Kirins. The god chooses to directly commune with his followers when needed, instead of sending visions and signs or communing via clergy. In times of strife, Coryil sends his loyal Kirins to fulfill their god's will rather than deploying an avatar.
Okay.
Coryil is a vigilant deity that constantly roams the many skies of the multiverse. He is the creator of Ki-rin, and much like his creations, the flying god of fate's appearance is a sign of momentous importance. He's depicted as a 16-foot long
4.9 meter
Ki-rin with a rainbow-colored mane and gold-silver fur. Coryil is a stern and observant god of lawful good, offended by the persecution of the weak and utterly ruthless when driven to fight. He has incredible foreknowledge of what events he will come to face in the future, possessing much of the information known by the primary powers of fate in whichever world he is on. Conversely, Coryil is also a restless and ever-curious deity, both a serious patroller and great traveler. He is eager to discover new knowledge throughout the many worlds and many planes that he roams.
The good sleuth, as we call him, starting now.
Yeah.
If you see Coryil doing burpees, you need to fucking get ready.
Yeah, get ready.
Get ready.
It's getting real.
Because Kirins don't just do burpees for no reason.
Nope, not at all. Coryil is said to fly faster than any other being in creation and can see perfectly as far as the horizon.
Yeah, okay. Whatever that means.
He's a god. Of course he can.
Right, but like there are more powerful gods than Coryil.
Yeah, okay, but this is like his one specialty.
This is like Birder from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
He's like,
I'm the fastest there is.
And then Frieza's like, well, they're like, what about Frieza? That's in an abridged.
Like, yeah, that's abridged. Like, by default, his power level is higher than you, so he's faster than you. Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but I'm the fastest one in this team.
What about Captain Ginyu? Isn't his power level higher than you? This is all I have.
And then, what was it?
He's like crying.
What's the name of the dude who stops time? I can't remember his name.
Goldo?
Goldo. And then
he's like,
technically, Goldo.
I'm not slower than Goldo.
All right, moving back to
yeah.
Ki-rin's avatar. Coryil's avatar shares the magical powers of normal Ki-rin. His song can banish summoned or conjured creatures, such as elementals within 600 feet of himself, or
180 meters.
He fights with his hooves and horn, and any evil creature that is struck by his horn is at risk of instant death. Merely being banished from the primordial plane if they manage to resist the more lethal effect. So if you're evil, don't get hit by this dude's
This
horn.
is like Avatar of Coryil,
Yes,
right? Like this isn't even the real deal.
Yeah, well, you can never fight the real deals.
That's
if
true.
they're actual
You're
gods.
going there
Yeah.
to their house to fight them, right? Like,
Yeah, seriously. And by the way, he doesn't have a house, but anyways, in addition
right.
to his powers of destruction and banishment, the Roman god can resurrect someone and speak a holy word of power. In some legends, Coryil is associated with the supreme god figure of sorts, acting as their great steed. In some stories, this figure is a prime creator god, such as some interpretations of Anam the Allfather.
Who is undoubtedly faster than Coryil. Who is exactly who I was thinking of before when he said that. I was like, pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure Anam's more powerful than you, so he's obviously faster than you.
I'm pretty sure my everything dad could outrun you, but okay.
And in others, it is the major lawful good god of some pantheon. Often in these legends, he and the god he allowed to ride him brought creative forces down to earth or rode together at the end of time, creation, and all other things. This mythic connection means that Coryil is treated with a certain level of gravitas, strengthening both his own magic powers and, by further association, those of the race he created. Kirins fly without wings, and they have several other powerful spell-like innate abilities, including the ability to read minds of those around them. They are extremely resistant to magic. Kirins have an ability to create supremely realistic illusions with auditory, visual, and olfactory elements. Apart from their powerful innate spellcasting abilities, Kirins can create food and water for up to 24 individuals, create permanent soft goods or wooden items, create metallic items that disintegrate within 2 to 5 days, including adamantine items that last for about 1 hour.
Wow.
Assume gaseous forms, cast windwalk, call lightning, and summon weather. A Kirin's power is so great, in fact, that it affects areas outside of their homes. Their celestial presence purifies all running water within 3 miles of their lairs. Ooh. When evildoers attempt to corrupt the waters, magically or physically, the waters return to their purified state within 3 minutes. The aura of Kirin's homes affect good aligned creatures, giving them strength and health, and it scares evil aligned creatures away. Negative effects of curses, poisons, and diseases are temporarily lifted from good creatures, and if they are to fall from dangerous heights, Kirin's winds protect them from harm, letting them gently descend to the ground.
This 3-minute timer on the poison water thing is why that number? Is that like an Achilles getting dipped into the river Styx sort of thing? I was like, got everything except for the little part I couldn't get my fingers in. Like, is this the chink in the armor? Like, I poisoned the water for exactly 3 minutes and the adventurers died.
I think essentially, like, the idea here is like, yeah, they can foul the waters. Obviously, if they pour a radiation into the water, it's going to affect it. But then the Kirin's power will clear it. Like, will overwhelm it within 3 minutes.
It just is. There's a lot written about it. So
I think the idea here is like you could be poisoned still, but like if you're the evildoer doing the poisoning, you got to be like more exact.
You got to time that shit.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm saying is like they left that in there so that you could do that. This
Yeah,
is the first
they
thing
did.
I thought
They did.
of.
And I think the idea here is that like this place cannot be permanently marred, though.
Yeah, cool. It's not impenetrable.
No.
You can get in there and throw sour apples into the top of the waterfall or whatever.
Sure.
But then in 3 minutes, those bad boys is ghosts.
Yep. Upon a Kirin's death, all of these effects disperse while the boons granted to creatures and plants in the area remain for 3 following years. So like all that extra bonus you got from hanging out with the Kirin, like that shit lasts.
Yeah, for probably the course of the campaign.
Maybe. Kirins can also enter the astral and ethereal planes at will. They are also telepathic. Unfortunately, Kirin's innate magical power lends their body parts to being used in magical item creation by those who would defile them.
Oh, no.
Kirin hair can be used to create youth elixir. An eyelash from a Kirin is used as a material component for some spells.
That brings us back to the Summer of the Artificer, where we're going to kill some Kirins.
We're going to kill some Kirins.
We're going to make sexy leg cannons with Kirin parts.
Absolutely. Kirin horns are used in magic and potion making, but they are highly perishable. One such item is the Horn of Doom, which can control storms over great areas.
The Horn of Doom. The Horn of Doom. What's that fucking quote from Space Ghost Coast to Coast or whatever?
I don't know.
Like, or what Adult Swim show is that? Where he's like, what are you doing, Thundercleese? And he's like, this is a robotic hymn of doom.
No, I have no idea.
You know what? Liven up a robotic hymn of doom. An amazing pair of jugs. And he's got like physical jugs. What the fuck was it?
If it wasn't Space Ghost, was it Brack?
It was Brack. Yeah, the prey mantis and the cat and the robot?
Yeah, that was Brack.
Okay, yeah,
Brack.
it was probably that show.
Yes, that show that went for like a season and a half.
And it ran alongside Space Ghost.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
First, they were. It was a spinoff. It was
right,
a spinoff.
yeah, because they were all in each other's show all the
Exactly,
time.
yes.
So I was like 10. Sorry, I just aged myself.
Kirin horns are used. Oh, we already talked about Horn of Doom. Kirin's skin can be used to create staves of power. The enchanter covers the unfinished staff with the skin and casts required spells to complete the crafting process. One bundle of Kirin's skin is valued at 25,000 gold.
Holy shit.
Owning such a gruesome item is dangerous, however, as other Kirin and good aligned sympathetic creatures might seek vengeance against those who would desecrate bodies of goodly celestial beings.
Yeah, you have to buy it off of like the avatar of Buffalo Bill.
Yes, absolutely.
Can you imagine like a fucking pit fiend like has a Ki-rin caged up and he's like puts a lotion in the basket.
That's horrible. All right, let's take a short rest.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Team Gorgon. Shout out to Team Gorgon. Oh yeah. Shout out to Team Gorgon. Shout out to Team Gorgon. Oh yeah.
We've returned.
Indeed, we have.
We are back at it again. God damn. Yeah.
Yes,
Hey.
we are. Yeah, we are.
Hey, YouTube demonetized the fuck out of us, and we don't know exactly why. We've talked,
And we don't know when it's going to end.
We finally spoke with somebody and got some specifics.
The specifics
which were very
we
vague.
don't know why. We don't know when it'll end. There's nothing you can do about it.
So right now, it's more important than ever to join our Patreon and keep this ship afloat, baby.
Indeed,
Because we're gonna keep making that YouTube video.
Yeah. There's also a donation on our, I believe it's called our card.
Yeah, if you're on like social media, like
Yeah.
Instagram, you can
We'll
go
go
to-
ahead and put the link in the description. So if you want to just make a one-time donation, help keep the YouTube channel going, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, it's cool. We would just like
yeah.
dumped a ton of money into like YouTube style stuff. I hope you noticed. Some of
And-
you have.
And when we, if and when we are remonetized, we will let you guys know immediately.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, you can catch a bunch of cool stuff on our Patreon anyway. In the meantime, it's like it's really our main means of support, is what I'm trying to say, because YouTube can just turn us the fuck off whenever for whatever reason they want.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot we can do about it.
There's absolutely nothing we can do.
So that except for like yell into heaven.
Yeah.
Towards these.
Yeah,
Kirins.
we were even told that we couldn't appeal, even though they can't tell us what we did wrong. So.
Right. It's an interesting transcript that I got to read.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, check us out on patreon.com/the Dungeoncast, where you could support us and our content creation at your discretion. You can donate any level you would like at a monthly, even if it's not like tiered. Those are going to be changing. I know we've been talking a lot about that, but it's going to take some time.
We also have a new option where you can do it annually with a 15% discount.
Oh, that's cool. Didn't know that. So yeah, you can check us out on Patreon and you can see all the bonus content. The main thing is you're going to get these episodes 1 week early ad free. You're also going to get a ton of actual play, live play stuff.
A ton of it.
We are going to be releasing that on Super Quest Saga. I don't know. We got some Super Quest Saga news we'll save for the end.
Yeah, Dungeon Chats is a show where me and Brian talk about everything not Dungeons and Dragons. That's on there.
We don't really actively make that one anymore.
No,
we
but
did it for like a
we
few
did like
months.
20 episodes or so.
It was really interesting, and I think they all took place in 2020.
Yeah?
Yeah, because we were like
COVID
dealing
happened.
with COVID. Yeah.
Let's talk.
The fourth one is literally called Apocalypse.
Yeah. Oh, we started it right before, I think.
Yeah.
Right before
We tried to do it like once a month, and it ended up being like weirdly staggered around that time frame. So yeah, you can kind of see what life was like for us during those times. Yeah, we pick
talk
a
about
topic
music,
and talk about whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's a cool insight. If you want to learn more about Will and I, definitely going into Patreon is a great way, and like exploring the content there. There's like a cool Google Drive system. It's a little messy, like, because we didn't know how to post on Patreon initially, but we've learned since how to like tag everything. But there's a Google Drive you can access that has like a ton of OST for Super Quest Saga and all the shows that we do, including the ones on Patreon. There's like merch options on there for exclusive stuff that has to do with like our Demogorgon logos and all that. So shout out to Demogorgon.
Shout out to Demogorgon.
And yeah, more to come on that in the long rest. But let's get back to Kirins.
Let's do it.
I've got a stat block here. We've got a Ki-rin who is a large celestial. Large celestial, typically lawful good. Armor class of 20. Natty.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. I wish I had 20 AC.
It's some golden scales.
It's got 153 hit points. That's going to be 18d10 plus 54. It can go 60 feet fast, real good, on the ground, but it can also fly 120 feet, real good. So it can choose to run, unlike a beholder, because I see the hover speed is listed there,
Right.
and I do see legs on the image
but why
here.
would they?
Why? Maybe to seem like lower profile. Who knows?
Maybe.
I'm not trying to be extra right now. Strength is 21, puts it at a +5. Dex 16 +3. Con 16 +3. Intelligence 19 plus 4, Wisdom 20 plus 5, and Charisma 20 plus 5.
So its lowest stats are 2 16s, which are very good.
They're very good. The Dex and Con, which are arguably the best two in the bunch, depending on your outlook on the game. Skills, Insight is going to be plus 9, Perception plus 9, Religion plus 8, Damage immunities, Poison, because this is a high-level creature, and Poison sucks after, like, level 7. Condition immunities, Poisoned. Senses, you're going to have Dark Vision for 120 feet, True Sight for 30 feet, Passive Perception is 19. Languages, it speaks every language, and it has Telepathy of 120 feet.
Nice.
This clocks at a challenge rating 12 for 8,400 experience points. Its
Now-
proficiency bonus is plus 4.
I feel, and it's probably has to do with damage output as well, but I feel like the challenge rating is a 12, highly because the HP is pretty low. Like 153 HP at high levels is not high. That is a single turn for a Falcon Paladin, and not even burning like all the best stuff.
Yeah, it's beautiful and frail.
Yeah.
And by frail, I mean plus 3 con is still pretty good. But yeah, I think you're right. I think could clock easily at like a 14 if you bump that.
If you bump that by 100.
Which you probably shouldn't. It's like the whole...
Unless that's what you want.
Right, yeah. You get a super buff Ki-rin.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get legendary.
Swollen.
This creature has legendary swollen, legendary resistances of 3 times per day, which is like, dragons do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If the Ki-rin fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed instead.
It also has advantage. Sorry, I got ahead of you on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to read
Magic
where
resistance.
Oh yeah. The Ki-rin has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Very good. For its actions, it can do a multi-attack. The Ki-rin makes 2 hoof attacks and 1 horn attack, or it makes 2 sacred fire attacks.
That's one of my favorite moves in Pokemon.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is just ho-oh.
It's Ho-Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hoof, melee weapon attack, plus 9 to hit, reach of 15 feet on one target. It's going to hit for 10 or 2d4 plus 5 force damage. And then there's the horn, which is a melee weapon attack with plus 9 to hit, reach of 5 feet, one target. It's going to hit for 18 or 3d8 plus 5 radiant damage. Sacred Fire is a ranged spell attack, plus 9 to hit, a range of 120 feet on one target. It's going to hit for 18 or 3d8 plus 5 radiant damage. Spellcasting, the Ki-rin casts one of the following spells requiring no material components and using Wisdom as a spellcasting ability. Spell save DC 17. At will, it's going to go it's going to cast Light or Major Image, the 6th level Major Image version, which is pretty fucking good.
They're
as
good
far
at
as I remember.
illusions, man. They're good at illusions.
And Thaumaturgy. 3 times a day, it can cure wounds, dispel magic, lesser restoration, or cast the sending spell. Now, that's 3 times a day as a pool between all these spells, not each spell is 3 times a day.
That's a great question. I've never really thought. I assumed it was each. I assumed it was 3 times a day each.
Oh, fuck.
I
always assumed it was
never thought about it.
Yeah, like I can do these spells. Like I have 3 slots for these.
I think it's each.
So I can cure wounds 3 times, dispel magic 3 times, lesser restoration 3 times.
3, yeah, and it says 3 a day each.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it
it
does
says
say
1 a
3 a day
each.
each.
Woo.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, it's a heart attack. I was like, I don't understand Dungeons & Dragons at all.
How long have we been doing this shit? Yeah, it says each on there. That's my fault. 1 day each. You can go banishment. You can cast banishment, calm emotions, create food and water. Now, shouldn't it be able to create food and water like all the time according to the lore?
According to the lore, but whatever. Like,
Maybe it can only do the spell. I don't know. I had a Heroes Feast related question earlier, but this kind of takes care of that.
Okay.
Greater Restoration, Plane Shift, Protection from Good and Evil, Revivify, and Windwalk. Those are all really cool spells.
So you know what I see? I see these creatures as being very excellent, like support units for like a high level boss. If you're like, let's say this is an evil campaign, so you're fighting the good creatures, right? Like 1 or 2 of these on the side of like a couple like higher level angels, like Revivify is a bitch. You take something down and suddenly this can just come in and revivify it. Like, damn.
And cure wounds a whole bunch, dispel magic. Like if you have, those are really high utility, especially in combat. If you have dedicated Kirins, roaming your gold dragon unit, that's a deep squad.
Yeah.
Big deep. Legendary actions. The Ki-rin can take 3 legendary actions, choosing from the options below. Only 1 legendary action option can be used at a time, and only at the end of another creature's turn. The Ki-rin regains spent legendary actions at the start of its turn. So it can move. The Ki-rin moves up to half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks, or it can smite, or smite.
Smite.
The Ki-rin makes one hoof, horn, or sacred fire attack.
It's going to be sacred fire every time. Why wouldn't it be?
Sometimes you want to stomp a bit out. You stomp that motherfucker out. Sometimes we just got to stomp somebody out.
Fair enough.
Now, when they're in their lair, let's talk about lair actions. Their lair of luxury, as it's called. I'm pretty sure we've gone over this like little opening paragraph D&D Beyond provides in the notes. But on lair actions, they happen on initiative count of 20, losing initiative ties. A Kirin can take one of the following lair actions, and it must finish a long rest before taking the chosen lair action again. The first one is create comforts. The Kirin conjures up one or more permanent objects made of soft, plant-based material, including manufactured objects like pillows, rope, blankets, and clothing that can collectively fill no more than a 20-foot cube. The objects materialize 1 minute later in unoccupied spaces of the Kirin's choice, right on the floor of the lair. Hell yeah, baby.
Very nice.
And there's everything this spell does is what do they call it? Sustainably sourced. Yes,
absolutely. Also, the created comforts specifically, they don't expire. Like they just last.
Yeah, this is making perma pillows up in there.
Perma pillows.
Create stone and metal. The Kirin conjures up one or more temporary objects made of stone or metal that can collectively fill no more than a 2-foot cube. The objects materialize 1 minute later in unoccupied spaces of the Kirin's choice on the floor of the lair, and the objects vanish after 1 hour. Create wood. Haha, reading the stat block has done that.
Stupid.
Whoa! Let's turn that down, Brian. The Kirin conjures up one or more permanent objects made of wood or similarly hard plant-based material that can collectively fill no more than a 10-foot cube. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
The objects materialize 1 minute later in unoccupied spaces.
And again, they are permanent.
The Kirin's choice on the floor of the lair. It's just making shit right on the floor. What if he wants to do it on the table? You gotta have a table or on top of a boulder. Maybe a treetop. Regional effects. Should we get into those? Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Kirin's celestial nature transforms the region around its lair. Any of the following magical effects is possible for travelers to encounter in the vicinity. Blessed nature. Beasts, plants, and celestials within 3 miles of the Kirin's lair grow more vigorously as they evolve toward an idealized form.
Wow.
What does that mean?
Fucking cool.
You get to come up with that,
yes,
Dungeon Master.
You do. Or player. Like, what's their idealized
yeah,
form?
that's true. It's just like so many bananas on this tree. It's a banana tree, but it's like all bananas.
It's bananas all the way
None
down.
of the bananas are rotting.
They're permanently fresh.
The ones at the top are new. The ones
Unbruised.
These are
Unbruisable.
unbruisable bananas. These bananas at the bottom here, they're ancient bananas. Whatever that
Definitely
means.
a +1
yeah,
to con.
okay. +1 to con for eating an ancient banana. It's like when the elder unlocks your true potential in Dragon Ball.
Exactly.
Wow, we have a lot of Dragon Ball references.
We always have a lot of Dragon Ball.
I think
this
we've had
is the Dungeon
We've
Cast.
had quite the dry spell. We haven't had like a real easy like
Okay.
creature episode for me to fit in all my Dragon Ball and Pirates of the Caribbean references into. We've been talking a lot about. We've been speed running hell.
We've been speed running hell, and it's taken so long.
Let's see. Oh, I forgot to read this. So we were talking about the idealized form of plants and whatnot. Such creatures are rarely aggressive towards others that aren't normally prey. So they're just chill unless they're trying to eat. Right. Controlled weather. A Kirin can cast control weather while it is within 3 miles of its lair. The spell's point of origin is always the point outdoors closest to the center of the lair. The Kirin does not need to maintain a clear path to the sky or to concentrate for the change in weather to persist, which I assume are parameters that this spell makes you follow.
Yeah, you take control of weather within 5 miles of you for the duration. So, like, it's 5 miles from the closest point of the center outside of the lair.
Neat.
Yeah.
So is it?
And it can do it from within 3 miles of the lair. So, like, it can affect anywhere within 5 miles of the lair from anywhere around the lair.
So up to like 8, up to 8 miles.
Well, no, because it doesn't stack. It's just like they can be 3 miles out and still do something
from
that
the center of the lair.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Now we have pure waters. Water flows pure within 3 miles of the Kirin's lair. Any purposeful corruption of the water lasts for no longer than 3 minutes. What's with all the threes? Like,
I think 3 is considered a divine number.
Okay, that's why. And if we ever needed proof, here it is. It's not written, but the hints are there. Realm of respite.
Yeah, respite.
Oh yeah, I corrected you on the pronunciation of
what was it?
promenade.
And then I was right.
And you were correct. And that's just all the Panic of the Disco in me, baby. I'm pretty sure it was because of what's that genre of music called? Pop rock, punk pop.
Yeah,
like that.
Power pop.
It's candy.
Yeah.
Realm of Respite. Curses, diseases, and poisons on creatures are suppressed when those creatures are within 3 miles of the lair, unless the creatures are aberrations, fiends, or undead. So the worst ones.
Yeah.
Safe descents. Within 3 miles of the lair, winds buoy creatures that fall due to no act of the Ki-rin or its allies. Such creatures descend at a rate of 60 feet per round and take no falling damage.
Yep.
Aberrations, fiends, and undead don't do that shit. They're going to hit the ground. They're going to get sauced by it. They're going to become ground sauce. When the Ki-rin dies, all these effects disappear immediately, although the invigorating effect on flora and fauna remains for 3 years. Can you imagine? Like, I'm going to do a jump. Yeah. It's like, no, wait, I'm so old. Now 2 people die this day.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow. That's pretty cool. This is very
Flavorful.
Rich flavor.
I love it.
Yeah.
Any particular thoughts on the Ki-rin?
No.
Any ideas of how you would run one?
I love the stacking these in with a troop, you know, a couple of support Kirins.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Okay,
They wear nurses' outfits.
I would very much like to wait. What? Nurses' outfits?
Yeah, they'd have like a little nurse hat.
Oh my gosh. I would very much like to run a Ki-rin as a sort of like party patron. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, like I'm granting you boons for your quest.
Yeah, that or like your guys's alignment and missions are aligned with this being and its deity and whatnot, and so you team up.
Yeah, like let's go kill
the red dragon over
fucking
there.
Tartarchus or whoever.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, whatever.
We're gonna go kill this dragon.
And like home base is this Kirin's lair.
Here-
I like that. Like you have a home hub you keep returning to, and it's the Kirin's lair.
Yeah, and here's like an adamantine weapon to use in this fight.
Yeah,
for
you got
1
an
hour.
hour.
Yeah, this fight should only take like
Good luck.
This fight should only take like 2 minutes tops.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, if that's the case, I think we can get ready for a long rest.
let's get ready for the long rest.
All right.
Shout out to Demogorgon, oh yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the long rest. This is the part of the episode where we're gonna talk about some other stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's godly in its own way. Like this Ki-rin.
It's quite divine.
It's quite divine. Yes, it's called Patreon. Welcome to the Dungeoncast. We want your money.
Yeah. Also, we got shout-outs, don't we?
Oh yeah, we probably do have shout-outs. That's a thing. Let me find them. We'll talk about stuff.
Yeah, everyone, if you want to help support what we do here, if you like this show, one of the best ways, probably the best way that you could like literally support us is by going to Patreon. I believe our lowest tier is a $5 tier, in which case you will get early episodes without ads. You'll also get show notes. I think there's a few other things in there as well. Is there like a merch, like a sticker? Is that for the $5?
Yeah, it's 10, I think.
$10?
There's a sticker. I don't know how long that's going to be there. I can't figure out the setting on it. It keeps just like sending them out over and over again.
I do know that there is some live action stuff that does make it to the 5 tier, but most of the live action stuff is going to be at the 10.
Yeah,
And
season
then we
1
have
of
exclusive-
F-Bats is in $5.
Okay, there you
and
go.
so is Vault Raiders.
Okay, sweet.
So there is actual play stuff there.
Yeah, and then at the higher tiers, you get even more and more stuff. We have more stuff coming down the pipeline. As soon as we can get to it, we have a premium show that we are hard working on.
We're in pre-production for that one right
that
now.
I'm so excited about. I will be sharing teasers as they come along.
It'll be in the $10 tier for people
Yes,
asking, which I
indeed.
believe is called the Electrum tier.
I believe that is the silver tier.
Silver. Oh, yeah, we upped it. Okay, yeah. So it's the silver tier.
But long story short, it's a fantastic way to support us. The money goes directly to us, and we use the money directly to better our lives and also everything about the show. So camera upgrades, light upgrades, we've done a lot. We've been remodeling the studio. We're most of the way through that. Brian got a new chair. It's freaking super comfortable.
I bought this one, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did buy that one on his own.
Felt
and
bad spending a lot of money on it.
yeah, and so on and so forth. Like we try to make the show better, but also you guys actively do make our lives better because we're both trying to go full time with this, and the only way that's going to be possible is through growth of the audience and through audience support.
Yeah, huge thanks to you guys for coming out and supporting us the way you do. There's a lot of people that have been on our Patreon for a long time, and we
Indeed.
really appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
You make every upgrade, every change we make is possible because of you, and our passion for doing this is backed by your contributions.
But your passion for us.
It means a lot. It really does.
It does. Absolutely. And are we ready for the shout outs?
We're ready for the shout outs.
Let's shout some people out.
So I've been asked the question on Discord. I thought it would be good to address it here. At the bottom tier, the copper tier, you get a lovely thank you. And then at the next tier up, which is the silver tier, I've just been informed by my good co-host William, you get a woo.
Oh God!
We're
Damn
gonna start doing some woos.
Oh.
Woo! Yeah, and then at the tier above that, which I believe is $20 tier.
Yes, and that's the Electrum.
The Electrum tier now. That's where we've been doing the air horns for a while now, and now we're both gonna do the air horns.
Indeed.
And then above that, I think we just like
the
grovel.
Gold tier. Yeah, we basically
we usually see
shoes.
anything above that. We're just like, oh my God, thanks. Like, fuck, are you sure?
We shower you in adulation.
Yeah. 10, there's sticker. 20, there's like a shirt right now. The shout out to Demogorgon. Shout out to Demogorgon.
Exclusive
shirt.
T-shirt, and I believe there's exclusive hoodie at the platinum tier.
Oh, jeez. I don't even know what that clocks in at, but yeah, be adventurous out there, I guess.
Indeed.
So we want to start our thank yous with Velocity Arrow.
Thank you, Velocity Arrow.
Velocity Arrow, thank you. Now we've got Stephen J.
Thank you, Steven.
Woo! Woo!
Steven.
Jason Segal. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
And not, I'm just going to read this note.
Oh, we got a note.
Verbatim. Yes, because thanks to
it's
Monaco.
chemical,
But yeah, not really new. Apparently, Patreon asked him to update his payment info. And so it sent a new patron email. What's up with that? We don't know. But thank you, Chemical.
Thank you, Chemical.
Our generous Discord moderator, who is also a legendary listener and part of the show, the show's team at this point. So yeah, thanks, Cam. And Justice G. Thank you, Justice G. It's not even spaced.
That's
it's
awesome.
Just Justice, all capital J, lowercase Ustus, and
Capital G.
Capital G.
Justice G. Thank you.
Or maybe it's Justice G.
I think it's Justice G.
It's a joke about the way we pronounce G's. It's been an ongoing theme for the last few shows.
It's so true.
Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for coming into the fold and becoming the Dungeoncast.
Indeed. You are now one with us.
Yeah, go out there, try to cast Eldritch Blast. You might be surprised.
Indeed.
That's what I've got for Patreon, Will.
All right. Sounds good.
What do you got?
If you like the show and you want to support it and you can't do it monetarily, that is totally fine.
Dude, it's so good. Thanks for listening.
Okay. Thanks for listening. And if you do want to actively do something, spread the word. Tell everyone you think might possibly be in the show about the show, because you never know. They might be the next Dungeoncast aficionados.
Describe this as you see it, William.
Yeah. Oh God, he's spreading. Oh no, no!
Blood everywhere.
Spread the word, and also the eagle.
Flap.
Also, you can leave an Apple Podcast review or Spotify rating. Those help tremendously.
Yeah, I know you're listening to this shit. So go. I know you got it. I know you got a way to review it. Do it.
Do it.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
You can do it.
It's true.
We're friends, right?
Yeah. We also got a merch store. If you guys are interested in buying and supporting some Dungeoncast merch, you'll notice I wear a pretty sweet Dungeoncast hat and t-shirts and stuff on the show. You can get those over at our spread shop. There's a lot of spreading going on in this episode. That link will be in the description. All that money, well, it doesn't all directly go to us, but we get a cut of it, so it's also helpful. That's all I got, I think.
That was it.
All right. We'll call it a game then.
Oh, yeah. Join the Discord.
That too. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
The Dungeoncast.